After renting for a while, you may ask yourself, am I ready to buy a house? There's a lot of pride that comes with homeownership. At the same time, this can be a big decision and should be taken very, very seriously. Ryan reached out to me recently with this question. In 3 months or so, I'll be moving away from home. Obviously, I need housing. I rent right now and pay way too much, and I'm tired of throwing my money at rent. I have no savings because my income is the only source of income in the house. And up until a few weeks ago, getting my finances in order was not a priority of mine. How do I know what I can afford in a house? Ryan, thank you so much for reaching out to me with your question, and congratulations on getting your finances in order. That is a big commitment, and that commitment can be a huge turning point in your financial future. So I commend you for making that decision. Now, to answer your question, how do you know if you're ready to buy a house? Well, I have 5 thoughts for you to help you figure this out. But before I jump in, everyone, if you could please do me a favor and give me the YouTube triple thanks. That's hitting the like button, the subscribe button, and leaving a comment down below. It helps the algorithm and supports this small business of mine. Thanks so much for considering it. All right, let's jump into Ryan's question and support him. All right, number 1, there is nothing wrong with renting. It sounds like the smartest move for you right now, Ryan, would be to rent. I know it feels like renting could be a waste of money because you're not building equity, but buying a home when you're not financially prepared can be much, much worse. I bought my first home when I was 22 years old because I thought that was the right thing to do. And man, was I wrong. My mortgage payments made me feel like I was drowning each month, and I wasn't even making enough money to cover my bills and my lifestyle without going into debt. And when I had job opportunities to move to other cities during the Great Recession, I couldn't leave because I owed more on my home than it was worth. Now, will another Great Recession happen that affects the housing market when you decide to buy a house? Maybe not, I don't know, but who knows, right? The point is, renting gives you flexibility. It gives you options. So please don't put homeownership on a pedestal as the only smart way to live. I did that and I got burned. Number 2, build up your emergency savings first. You mentioned that you have no savings. That is a great place to start. To the best of your ability, it's time to start living on less than you make. This has been the single best piece of advice I've received during our wealth building journey. If you can live on less than you make, then you have the ability to save more and protect yourself from when life happens. You know what I'm talking about. Your tire goes flat, and with no savings, this becomes a quick way to go into debt. With savings, this emergency is an emergency no more. So work on building up an emergency fund of at least 3 months of expenses. Now this may take some time, but it'll be worth it. This amount of money will protect you from job loss, unexpected emergencies, and give you some confidence to buy your first home. Number 3, save 20% for your home down payment. A good rule of thumb is to save 20% of the value of your home as your home down payment. This does a few things for you. It helps you to lower your monthly mortgage payments. It potentially avoids private mortgage insurance, also called PMI. This is an extra fee that you have to pay that protects the lender, it doesn't protect you. It may give you better interest rates with your lender. So for example, if the home you're looking for costs $300,000, you'll need to save up $60,000 for your home down payment. This sounds like a crazy amount of money, because it is. Homeownership is a big deal and it should not be taken lightly. According to the Mortgage Bankers Association, as of June 30th last year, mortgage delinquency in the U.S. has reached 8.2%, the highest since 2011 and almost double the 4.5% of the year earlier. With 53 million mortgages in the U.S., that means more than 4.3 million mortgages are delinquent. 4.3 million people are unable to pay their mortgages. Yes, last year was a pandemic year, but the last time I looked, we're still in this crazy pandemic. So, from a dude who put 10% down on his first home and felt like he was drowning, please go for at least 20%. I think you'll be happy you did. Number 4, consider the other costs of home ownership. One of the major mistakes I made when buying my first home was thinking that if I could afford the mortgage, then I'd be okay. Major error. Here is a short list of the other expenses that homeowners need to pay outside of their mortgage. Closing costs, homeowners insurance, property tax, repairs, home maintenance, furniture, utility bills, that's heating, electric, water, lawn care, and the list goes on and on and on. The point I'm trying to make is that you need to factor those costs in before you buy a home. I realized this after I bought my home, and quickly my home costs were about 50% of my income each month. Again, felt like I was drowning. There was very little money for fun or food or transportation or clothing or any of the other expenses of life. If you don't have a budget already, I'd highly recommend it. Check out an easy budget tool like Mint or YNAB. You need a budget. I'll put those links in the description below so you can try them out for free. A budget app like these ones can help you get on top of your finances right away. Number 5, use a mortgage calculator to gauge the budget impact. Once you've created and are living on a budget, you can start to play around with a mortgage calculator and see how much you'd potentially pay each month. With this information, you can start to understand the impact of a larger down payment and the benefits of going with a 15-year mortgage versus a 30-year mortgage. If you want a lower payment today, a 30-year mortgage is your best option. And if you want to pay off your mortgage faster and pay less interest to the bank in the process, a 15-year mortgage is better. This is a personal decision that only you can make. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer here. Since this could be the largest purchase you'll ever make, take your time and don't rush. If the price doesn't feel right or you're not excited about the home, then don't force yourself to buy something you may regret later. Also, think about what life looks like for you from 5 to 10 years from now. Do you see yourself living in this house for 5 years? How about 10 years? The cost to buy, sell, furnish, update, repair, heat, cool, and decorate another home can be costly and downright tiring. But if you see yourself living in the home for a while, investing in the community you're in, and buying the home in a financially intelligent way, home ownership can be a blessing. So, in closing, even though I totally messed up my first home purchase, our second one has been a dream come true. We now own our home outright, and we see ourselves living here for at least another 10 years. Our home value has risen from $350,000 to $450,000 in the last 7 years. The difference between these two home ownership experiences is the time we took to build up our emergency fund and a proper down payment. I suggest 20% or more. So Ryan, I wish you the best of luck with your transition and your path towards home ownership. Because when you do it the smart way, there is no place like home. I'd love to know what you all think. What advice would you have for Ryan in his situation? Do you think 20% down is too much to save, or is it the right amount? Please let me know in the comments below. This is Andy Hill from Marriage, Kids, and Money, signing off. Carpe diem.